Hello dear students, good morning to all of you. As we were discussing about Consumer Protection Act 1986 and as we have discussed the different terms of Consumer Protection Act 1986 like its scope, the meaning of the consumer, rights and responsibilities of the consumer, and since it has taken a long time in the discussion after topic wise, continuously topic after topic. So dear students, today we will make a brief discussion on Consumer Protection Act. Dear students, first of all, we should know that what is Consumer Protection Act. So if we are talking about Consumer Protection Act, dear students, it is a setup to protect and promote consumer interest through a speedy and inexpensive redressal of grievances. And this is the act which provides the recognition of consumers and the consumer's right. And for this term and for providing the recognition, dear students, Consumer Protection Act has made so many amendments and facilitated consumers by providing three-tier or setting up three-tier agencies to address consumer grievances as the redressal agencies. Dear students, as we know that today east and everywhere we are finding the product adulteration or mixing or black marketing, illegal storing were happening in the society by the traders. So today this act is much more useful for the consumers, which helps the consumer to provide a platform where their grievances can be sought out, and it can keep a control and command over the sellers as well as producers too, so that they cannot feel free, that there is no bondage and there is no limitation on them, and there is no any controlling authority or body who are going to control their activities. So this act is a kind of controlling mechanism for doing unfair trade practices by the producer or the sellers. So dear students, and this is the Consumer Protection Act which has given a proper meaning to the consumer. Under the Consumer Protection Act, the consumer has been defined that any person who buys any goods and services for the consideration for their personal use and for their personal use and for their domestic purposes, or we can say for their domestic purposes, then these people are known as consumer. Now dear students, we will discuss about the rights of the consumers. As we know, the Consumer Protection Act has given 6 rights to the consumer. First is right to safety, second is right to be informed, third is right to choose, fourth is right to be heard, fifth is right to seek redressal, and sixth is right to consumer education. There are 6 rights given under the Consumer Protection Act, and nowadays these rights are providing a kind of a strength to the consumer, so that they are more conscious regarding their right, and they are becoming more efficient, so that the trader cannot involve them in unfair trade practices and the trader cannot cheat them. If the traders are doing so,
Hello, dear.
then they can be claimed by the consumer, and they can be punished, and they can also be compelled by the consumer court or consumer forum for the compensation occurred due to their unfair trade practices or providing wrong goods and services. So dear students, the consumers have got some rights, but as we know that right is not only the term which can make the consumer aware. This is the matter of the responsibility too, because only giving the right and each and everywhere consumers are asking for their right, and they, if there is no responsibility, then these rights can be misused. So dear students, under this act, some responsibilities of the consumers have been also fixed. In this term, few responsibilities, I'm telling the name of few responsibilities, that is, ask for cash memo, beware. Next is buy only standardized goods. Next, thereafter, follow manufacturer's instruction, read the labels carefully, assert yourself. It means ensure themselves that they are engaged in fair deal or they have done a fair deal. Next is be honest in your dealings, and thereafter, dear students, file a complaint in an appropriate consumer forum because it is also required, and thereafter form consumer society and respect the environment. These responsibilities or duties have been fixed by the Consumer Protection Act 1986. After fulfilling these responsibilities, if the consumers are going to be cheated or if the consumers are sufferer, still they have any grievances, then they can claim against the seller, against the producer, and they can settle their grievances over there. Now dear students, if we are talking about the silent features of the Consumer Protection Act, so dear students, under the Consumer Protection Act, first of all, it has explained that who can file a complaint, and complaint can be filed for compensation or not, or claim for compensation can be demanded or not. Thereafter, dear students, redressal agencies under Consumer Protection Act has been established, that if the complaints are given, then, or if they have complaints, then where they will start the complaints, where they will file the complaint. Until or unless the complaints settlement forum or any stages or any platform is not there, then how they can be protected. So dear students, some redressal agencies under Consumer Protection Act has been established, that is known as three-tier machineries for redressal of the consumer grievances. These are, dear students, I am talking about from bottom to top. So first of all, on the district level, there is district forum, thereafter state commission, thereafter national commission. But any consumer who wants to apply in national commission or state commission, they must belong to that category. So first of all, they should know that which criteria will help or what is the criteria, so that they can directly apply to the state or national commission or district forum. So dear students, we will discuss it in details tomorrow, and tomorrow we will complete this revision work. Till then, thank you.